would say something like, it seemed by the providence of God that I was meant to be born blind, and I'm thankful for the dispensation. Well, Franny Crosby did, and she was born in March of 1820. She was a teacher and a poet, a lyricist, hymn writer, who wrote close to 9,000 hymns under her own name, Franny J. Crosby. Yes, Fanny, sorry, UK friends. Or one of at least 30 different names. She didn't want to put herself out there too much, she said, and have her name. She wanted to be able to put the emphasis of the songs on the one she was singing about. In her infancy, Fanny became sick and had an eye infection. It wasn't treated well. And, in 1820, unfortunately, she ended up being blind. She said, if I'd been able to make one petition, was to tell God that it's okay that I'm born blind. Raised by a wonderful Christian mother, and she started to learn whole chapters of the Bible at the New York Institute of the Blind. Not just chapters, but whole books. She was able to memorize and recite the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, before she was 12. She memorized the entire book of Proverbs and the Song of Solomon. And she started writing poetry at a very early age while she was in school. And she started submitting some of her poems to newspapers, including, at the time, the New York Herald. She even ended up writing a poem as a eulogy for President William Henry Harrison. She also wrote a piece for some of the Union generals after the Civil War. Her first book of poetry was published in 1844, where she wrote some of these lyrics. Someday the silver cord will break, and I no more will sing, but the joy when I awake in the palace of my King. Someday my earthly house will fall. I do not know when that will be, but this I know, my all in all now has a place in heaven for me. Someday, when fades the golden sun beneath the rosy tinted west, my blessed Lord will say, well done, and I shall enter into rest. Someday, till then, I'll watch and wait, my lamp trimmed and burning bright. My Savior will open the gate, and my soul to him will take its flight. And the refrain is all Franny Crosby. And I will see him face to face and tell the story, saved by grace. And I shall see him face to face and tell the story, saved by grace. Fanny told one of her best friends she wanted the first face she saw to be the face of her Savior. And that happened on this date, February 12th, in 1915, when Franny Crosby was 95.